These flyaways, mate, are a real epidemic and you don't want to get too close. Because they might just fly in your face, mate. It's this one right here that's like bugging the crap out. You know what? Hairspray will fix this whole situation. Ladies, gentlemen, select gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see, but you know, Happy New Year, Valentine's Day, and everything else I might have missed. So a few weeks ago, as some of you guys know, I headed down to New Orleans, Louisiana, which was such an amazing trip. We went for my best friend Jen's birthday, and I vlogged the whole entire thing and posted the vlog the other day. And if you guys haven't seen the vlog, you can click it I don't know how to link them, so you could just find it on my channel. That vlog included this clip right here. And y'all, I just got stopped by TSA and like pulled into like the screening room. Not a fun situation. That's for like a separate video. So as I said, that moment was for another video, and that video is this one right here. Yeah, I got pulled over. I got held up by the TSA because they found all my secrets. And I'm not gonna put this on super 100,000 million% thick and say something like, oh my God, I was detained against my own civil rights and my own personal will. It was not that serious, it was not that dramatic, although that would have made for some really good clickbait. But regardless, it was not a fun situation, and it definitely kind of killed my mood trying to get my party on in New Orleans. So Micah and I had the same flight together, so when we got to the airport, we were going through TSA. And as you know, the TSA has those big, like, revolving machine type situations that basically scans your body for any anomalies or any abnormalities. So I walk into the machine, I put my hands up, they playing my song, the butterflies fly away. Not in my head like yeah, getting detained like yeah. I don't think the song goes like that. I put my hands up and then it does the thing. And then I step out and then he holds me there for like 2 seconds and the screen usually turns like green if you're good or red if you know you got something on you. And I look at the screen, and on the screen it has kind of like, obviously like a little stick figure kind of situation to see if there's any anomalies anywhere. And the screen turns red and there is like a square in my like genital area. And I was like, oh my God, please tell me this is not happening to me again. Because if you guys don't know, this actually wasn't the first time this happened to me. This happened to me back in like 2010. So it hadn't happened ever since then, so I actually wasn't even tripping. I wasn't even double thinking it. I was like, I'm just gonna pass right through because I forget, you know what I mean? And so like I wasn't even thinking that this was gonna happen. So when I looked at the screen and the screen was red and I saw the square where the square was, I was like, mother f***. And since I had like been through this before, I kind of knew one, what was gonna happen, but the things that I should say. And so when the TSA came up and they said, we found an anomaly and we gotta pat you down and do whatever inspection, I was like, just so you guys know off the bat, I'm transgender. Because back in 2010, when it happened to me for the first time, I didn't say it off the bat because I didn't know how to go about the whole situation. But when I was in the screening room and they were like patting me down, they were like, we feel something in your genital area. And I was like, I'm transgender. They backed up and they were like, oh, well, you should have told us from the start because you could have avoided this whole thing. Which obviously proved untrue because when the second time came around and I knew what was happening, I said it from the start and from the jump. The TSA agent continued to say, well, we still have to pat you down. Would you like a private screening or would you like to just do it right here? And me being almost like a veteran at this point of these like situations, I was like, honestly, I don't care. I really did not care. I was like, just do it right here. Like, do what you gotta do. Like, I'm just trying to go. I'm trying to get past this humiliating experience as quick as possible and just get on my flight and get to New Orleans. And so they start like patting me down and I'm aware it's in front of everybody, but I'm thinking it's gonna just pass by pretty quick and I could just go. And then they proceed to bring out that little like wand that they have to put like on your hands and then they have to put it on theirs or some, I don't know what it is, but they do that on my hand. So I'm just kind of chilling here like, all right. So I'm waiting there And to like make matters worse, another TSA agent comes in, and I'm just like thinking to myself, does it really have to be like this big of a production? Like, it's not that serious. And he's like, just wait here, we're getting another inspector. And I was like, I just told her I'm transgender, so if that's what you guys are like seeing, like that's what's going on. But to add insult on top of injury, after having to tell a second person a second time that I was transgender, he goes, well, are you presenting as male or female today? And I was like, oh yeah, because I'm choosing. Today I'm gonna do female, but yesterday, it was all male. And okay, I completely get it. I know that they have to ask you these things as protocol because they have to see what kind of inspector to get. Because if you're presenting as male, you gotta be patted down by a male. Or if you're female, you gotta be patted down as female. And I get that. I totally 100% get that they're doing their job. But on the other side of the coin, as someone who is already having issues and struggling with their identity and struggling with just trying to live a normal life as possible, that is like a really insulting question to ask, because it's kind of like I'm standing here with like my boobs that actually no, I had a big ass sweater, but my boobs were like imprinted, you know what I mean? I had my lashes on and my makeup, and not to say that a woman has to be all these things, but to me, I'm just like, isn't it like obvious? And to make matters worse, instead of just putting me to the side and letting me know like an inspector will get to me or whatever, I'm standing still in front of that machine as people are passing by me, and it's just humiliating to me because I have to stand there and wait. And I'm like, now in my own head, like everybody's probably staring at me, thinking I have something on me, thinking I'm trying to carry something onto this plane. I just feel like it's not a discreet enough like situation. So then it takes like a few minutes, and I honestly am also embarrassed because Micah is like on the other end, and she's like carrying my stuff because I couldn't even put my shoes back on. I couldn't even get my backpack. So she's carrying my stuff. She's just like waiting for me, and I'm like, this is such an embarrassing situation, not only to go through in front of like all these strangers, but to also have to have my best friend like kind of experience this moment. Like, I kind of wish I had traveled alone at that point because I just didn't want to like have to put anyone through that. And so another TSA agent comes in, and she goes, we have to bring you into the screening room. I'm like, I know, whatever, just do whatever you need to do. And so we go into the screening room, and at that point, my excitement for the trip is dead. I think now I'm in my feelings and I'm in my emotions, which is so weird because I don't really get emotional about these kinds of situations anymore, just because I've sadly gotten used to them and I kind of know protocol. But for some reason, it was something about that specific moment where I just was so uncomfortable, and I was so angry, and I was so mad. And so they do the same thing that they did like outside, and they're trying to walk you through it like, oh, I'm gonna go up here and this and that. And I said the same thing that I said the very first time. I was like, honestly, I don't care, whatever you have to do, I just gotta go. So she did whatever she needed to do, and then she had to pass through my genital region, and then I was standing there just kind of like dead in the face. And I actually kind of felt myself kind of like tearing up a bit, but I was like, get it together, remember who you are. And as I felt the slightest tear form, right before it would have even thought of dripping, I remembered who the I was. But I do think that the TSA agent that was doing the inspection inside the screening room kind of felt my energy and kind of knew I was uncomfortable. And so when she was done doing her job, she's like, she's fine. And like, you could kind of tell that she felt bad. And so at that point, I just grabbed my bags and put my shoes on, and I couldn't even get the same spirit back that I had before that whole situation to be really excited for the trip. And I have to say, it was just such a mood-killing experience, especially when I was so excited to go to New Orleans. And like, I don't know how to feel about the whole situation, because on one side, I am so happy that TSA is as thorough as they are, and I get that this is their job, and I get that their job is to keep everybody safe, because you really just can't trust anybody. And I'm glad that they're as detailed as they are with these types of situations, just because it makes me feel more safe, on a flight, because I think that everybody's awareness is just up, and their like fears and their nerves are like at an all-time high. So I think it does give you that sense of security knowing that they are that thorough with their inspections. But it just sucks when you flip the script and you're on the other side, and you know that you're just an innocent person who's just trying to get on their flight, and just trying to live a normal life as possible, like it really does bring down your spirit, and it really does just make you aware that you can't live as normally as you would like to. And yes, yeah, we sign up for it, yada, yada, yada. This is the life that we chose, but we are at the end of the day still human. And these kinds of experiences are very, very dehumanizing and just makes you honestly just feel like less. And I'm not gonna lie, like, it doesn't take a lot to make me feel like less of a person, but in these specific moments, it makes you not feel human at all. It's easy to just say, oh, once they get their surgery done, it won't be an issue because there won't be any kind of anomalies that show up. But the reality is that being trans and being in your transition doesn't always mean that you're gonna get the surgeries done. Not everyone chooses to do it. Not everybody is going to get the surgery. Not everybody is gonna get that done. And so you're trying to tell me that they have to live with this anxiety and this nervousness to travel and to have to be publicly humiliated every single time that they go to the airport? That's just not realistic. I just feel like there has to be some kind of like middle ground where TSA can still do their job as thoroughly as they can, but also so that a transgender can travel comfortably and not be humiliated so publicly. Just to have to disclose that you're transgender in and of itself, and then to have to be asked like how you're presenting yourself. I don't think that every transgender should have to go through that every time they decide to travel, because traveling is a normal thing that every human being does a lot of times, hopefully, in their life. And I feel like there has to be something done for transgender travelers to make their traveling more easy and more comfortable and less anxiety inducing. Just make it an easier transition to travel. I will say though, as a tip to my trans sisters and trans brothers out there, if you guys are traveling and you find yourself in this situation, if you are a little bit more sensitive or if you are easily embarrassed, let the TSA know that you are transgender and you would like to be screened privately. Like I said, I didn't care. I wanted to get out of there as quick as possible. But I know that not everybody is like that. So if you do care, or if you do feel like you want to have it done privately, you have more than enough right to do so. You just got to let them know. So at least you're not waiting in front of everybody and they're not passing around you and not everybody's staring at you, and you can hopefully get out of that situation a little bit quicker. And if it's not as quick, at least it's not as public. If you are a male to female transgender, just make sure your tucking game is on point, because any little detail that machine can pick up, it will. So if you can get your tucking game on point, I think you'll pass through that machine a little bit more easily and more comfortably. But yeah, that's my story time for the day. Spoiler alert, I ended up having the most amazing time in NOLA anyways, because a bitch can't kill my vibe. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget, if you like it, put a thumbs up on it. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please do. It's that little button somewhere over the rainbow that says subscribe. And if you care when I post videos, which obviously hasn't been a lot too recently, you can turn your notifications on to know when I do. But yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. But until then, don't forget to work hard, fly safer, and slay harder. Love you. Bye.